start?
Okay, start.
Yeah, good morning, children. Please welcome to English class. And we are talking about Unit 7. And title of the Unit 7 is Nation and Diversity. And it includes 3 readings. Reading A, My Childhood. Reading B, A Plea for India. Reading C, Unity in Diversity in India. And in this video, in this class, we are going to talk about Reading C, third reading, that is Unity in Diversity in India. And this is the second class that we are talking about this particular lesson. In the first class, we have learned, we have read about 7 paragraphs of the lesson, and we have understood India has many groups, many languages, many races, many castes, many subcastes, many nationalities, many communities, many religions, many beliefs, and different apparels, dressings, but one nation, one country, oneness, that is Indianness. And that is what we have understood in the first class, right? A superficial observer cannot find what exactly Indianness is when he observes from outside of the country. If he really wants to understand what exactly Indianness is, he has to understand India in depth. So that is what we have learned in the first class. And today, this is a second class, and let us try to understand India in a better manner and what exactly Indianness is, what exactly the life of India is, how the people of India lead their life. And this is what we are going to read, and we are going to complete this lesson today. And day 2, India, Unity in Diversity in India. And I am reading from page number 215 of your textbook. Let us start. This is the 8th paragraph. India has 150 dialects and 22 recognized regional languages, but Hindi, like English, has come to stay as the lingua franca of our nation. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Mumbai to Nagaland, Hindi is now understood and is recognized as the national language of India. So it is very easy for us. Hindi is understood from Mumbai to Nagaland. Mumbai is somewhere here and Nagaland is somewhere here, and from this side to this side, and Kashmir is somewhere on the top, and Kanyakumari is at the bottom. So from top to bottom, from right to left, the entire world, we are having a national language, that is Hindi. And what are dialects? Dialects are nothing but languages. And there are more than 150 languages which are spoken by this people of this country. But what happened? So only some like 22 regional languages are recognized by the government of India. And Telugu is also one of them. We should be proud of it. And Telugu, our mother tongue, is also recognized by the government of India. And you can just imagine there are many other languages which are not recognized, but they are spoken by the people of this country. And when it comes to Hindi, as we know, it is our national language. And English also, like Hindi, is playing the role of lingua franca. What is lingua franca? It's a link language. It is linking all the nations, all the states of this country. So we use Hindi or we use English to link from one state to other state. So that is what we these two languages are here to serve the purpose of linking the people, linking the places, or linking the states, or serving its own purpose of doing what the development is. Now we understood there are many languages, only 22 recognized, and Hindi and English are playing the role of lingua franca. They are playing equal role to link the people of this country. And the next paragraph, India has a rich cultural heritage. We are inheritors of several grand treasures in the field of music, fine arts, dance, drama, theater, and sculpture. Our sages and seers have left behind a tradition of piety, penance, spiritual greatness, conquest of passion, etc. Our scriptures are the storehouses of spiritual wisdom. Our saints aspire to the realization of the infinite. We have inherited great spiritual values, contrasted with which the materialistic progress of the West appears insignificant. This is really very fantastic paragraph that I like the most. So materialistic progress of the West appears insignificant in this paragraph. And we have to be very clear in understanding what exactly the Indian is in this paragraph. Let's try to understand some words. Heritage is nothing but a traditional thing, tradition that is coming from our ancestors. India has a rich cultural heritage. Culture, as in the previous lesson, previous class, we have already discussed what is culture. Culture is nothing but the way how the people live in one particular area. So we have a great high value of cultural heritage. So traditional heritage. We are inheritors of several grand treasures. So treasure is nothing but a lot of value, grand treasures. Lot of valuable things are given to us by our ancestors. What are they? Music, fine arts, dance, drama, theater, and sculpture. Sculpture is nothing but one who make statues kind of thing. So these are all the great things. And you can see there are 29 states, means we have 29 dance forms, art forms, drama forms, cultural forms, or folk tales. There are many different kinds of sculptures also in every state. One different kinds of folk tales are available in this country, and this is the great treasure that we have received from our ancestors. That is what the author is trying to tell us. Not only that, our sages and seers are none other than the prophets who give us how life should be. So sages are again the gurus, the greatest gurus that are available in the ancient India, and in now also they are available, who guide us what exactly the right way of living. Seers have left behind a tradition of piety. What is piety? Piety is nothing but the devotion, how you have to be connected with the God, the ultimate power. That is what is piety. A penance is nothing but spirit. It's a kind of tapassu kind of thing, we can say in Telugu. Spiritual greatness, spirituality is nothing but the way how you take the ultimate reality into your life, how you realize the ultimate reality is the spiritual greatness. Conquest of passion. We have lot of desires, and most of the people say we are enslaved by the desires. And here there are so many sages who told us how we can conquest, how we can conquer these kind of desire, how we can achieve these desires, and we can live up to the mark what exactly the Indian is and what exactly the life is. Not only that, our scriptures are the storehouses of spiritual wisdom. This is very, very important. Our scriptures, we have our own scriptures like Vedas, we have our so many books are there. Mahabharata, Ramayana, many other books, spiritual books are the storehouses. They are having store, where storehouse means we store so many things, like what are the valuable things we store in some place. So these are all the books which are giving us what exactly the spiritual wisdom is. Wisdom, the knowledge. Spiritual wisdom. What is spirituality? How you connect yourself to the ultimate reality is a spirituality. That is the end of the day, how you are connected to the ultimate reality. What is ultimate reality? We believe that somebody created, and how we are connected to that soul is ultimate reality of the spirituality. So that is how these books guide us what we can lead, how we can lead our life towards the spiritual reality. Not only that, our saints aspire to the realization of the infinite. Yeah, this is very, very important. Realization of the infinite. Infinite is nothing but ultimate power. And we believe that no, though our parents gave us the birth, and we are no, there is ultimate power who brought us here, and finally ultimately we reach that ultimate power. And it is the realization. The spirituality leads our soul from zero to this realization of ultimate reality. So our realization of ultimate infinite power. Now that is the final step of spiritual wisdom. That is the final step. That is the final stage of spiritual wisdom, when you realize the ultimate reality, ultimate power, and you are fulfilled your life with spiritual wisdom. Now that is what was given by our sages, our gurus, our seers, our prophets, our greatest elders. Not only that, we inherited great spiritual values with which the materialistic progress of the West appears insignificant, not significant, not important. So most of the time we are living in the development. No, most of we talk about development. We talk about so many other rich and poor, and in terms of materialistic world. If you have a big house, if you have so many things in your house, people say you are rich, but ultimately they sometimes what happens, if you uh, take this area of the spirituality, you are very poor. What is spirituality, what is spiritual reality, how to realize spiritual infinite, it is the real wisdom, a real greatness, a real wealth that our Indian sages or Indian seers have given us. So when you take the western people which is America, Europe country, they are very rich. They have a big houses, in a big 1 acre 2 acre land they build house, but spirituality zero. But India, we sometimes we don't even have house, but like when it comes to spirituality, you are very very far ahead to the westerners. That is the contrast thing that we have to appreciate, the Indian life, whereas the westernization or western life. And western life, we say that they have a lot of articles, money and everything, they lead everything, but we are leading the spirituality of this world, of this universe. And that is where we should feel proud about ourselves. So this came from the heritage. This is our heritage. This is coming from the olden days, from our fathers, forefathers, great forefathers. We have been doing this, and it is there in our blood. In the next paragraph, the West has to learn a lot from India, and it has now been realized when people in the United States and Europe are turning to the Indian way of life. Indian yogis and maharshis, musicians, and the spiritual leaders have all attracted them in a big way. A significant move to project India's cultural unity has been the holding of festivals of India in various parts of the world. The West is fast inclining towards our spiritual values, which include meditation and contemplation, charity and love, universal brotherhood and fear of God, piety and unselfishness, control of passions, and peace of mind. So, in this paragraph, the author is trying to tell us what is exactly spiritual realization, what is exactly the Indian way of life, and how these Europeans, how these the people who live in Europe and United States of America are looking forward, looking towards Indian way of life. And the European people or the American people or United States of people, they are having a lot of materialistic world. They have everything they have except the peace of mind. For this peace of mind, they are looking towards India. Indian people, most of the time, they are poor, but they have peace of mind. The European realized that for living a peaceful life, peace of mind is required, not the material. That is what they realized. That is the reason the West has to learn a lot from India. West means Western countries, who whatever country you feel that they are developed, they have to learn a lot from our country. What they have to learn? Not only we are not telling that they have to learn. They realized what they real who are they, Nations people or Europe people, they realize that they have to learn what exactly the Indian way of life. They are looking at us now. They have been following Indian yogis, maharshis, musicians, and spiritual leaders, and these people attracted them a lot. And there is a now what happened, our Indian cultural festivals are being celebrated all over the world, not only in India. In every part of this world, in every country, they have started celebrating our festivals. So this is the greatness of our Indian way of life. What is Indian way of life? What is the spiritual wisdom we have been talking in the earlier paragraph? And what the West is trying to fast inclinate towards the spiritual values. What is inclination? Inclination is nothing but willing to follow something that you like, that you willing for doing. Now, what is this? Yeah, that is what he clearly tells us. No, spiritual values or the Indian way of life or the spiritual wisdom is nothing but It includes meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is nothing but you think about yourself. You concentrate on your life, on your birth. Who are you? That is the first question that you try to get the answer from. That is the meditation. Contemplation, that is the thought process. Thought process will lead you to uh, who brought you here and what is your goal. And the charity is nothing but the donation, that help that you do. And you know, I have heard many times people saying in Europe nobody helps you when there is an emergency. When you are walking on the road, if there is an accident, nobody takes care of you. But you take India, when there is an accident, there are 100 people, they will take you to hospital. That is a help, and that is a love, and that is a universal brotherhood. What is universal brother? You treat your friend as your brother. And ultimately fear of God. We Indians have a lot of fear of God. That is a good thing, I can say, because you find every state has a temple, and they have their own lord. They have their own way of worshiping. And piety and unselfishness, not so selfish our people. And control of passions, of course it is very true. We have no our family system is the indication of control of passions. We marry and we are to one person, and that one person to is devoted to this person. And this indicates, our family system indicates, we are all in control of passions and peace of mind. And all these kind, meditation, contemplation, charity, love, universal brotherhood, fear of God, piety, unselfishness, control of passion, ultimately will lead your life to peace of mind. That is the greatness. That is the Indian way of life. And that is what the Westerns lacked. And that is the reason they are inclining towards our spiritual values, our way of life. And that is where we should be proud of our life. And the next paragraph, our cultural unity is further exemplified by the temples of the south and of Khajuraho, the caves of Ajanta and Ellora, which are shining examples of India's proficiency in sculpture and architecture. Our music has come to enjoy worldwide popularity. So our music, no, we have greatest classical music in our country. You can see our sculpture, architecture, designs. You can see here he quoted South Indian architecture like Khajuraho. Now these are all the pictures you can see. These are the Khajuraho temples you can see, and these are all the architectural. This is a big temple actually. A picture I tried to project here, and these are all the sculptures. How those people tried to uh, uh, project them everything in the pictures. Not only that, the caves of Ajanta and Ellora. No, these are all the caves of Ajanta and Ellora. This is a big picture, and these are all the caves of Ajanta and Ellora inside. So these are all the great examples of shining Indians' proficiency in the area of sculpture and architecture. Most of the time, when we say sculpture and architecture, we look towards the European culture, Europeans. But we Indians had a lot of technology, a lot of skilled persons in our ancient time. Even today also we are having a lot of skills towards sculpture and architecture. This is our greatness. And the next paragraph, Indian classical music, like the Indian dances, is built on the concept of ragas and talas. Each raga is regarded appropriate to a certain time of the day or the night. There are believed to be about 250 ragas in common use in the north as well as in the south. In the modern times, people like Ravi Shankar have taken Indian music to the West and thus bridged the gap between the music of the East and the West. So we should be thankful to this great man, Ravi Shankar, who built this gap between West and East music. And we have ragas and talas, ragam, talam. When you see Partha Thiyaga music, kind of music programs on TVs, so ragalu, talalu, these are all the basic things for Indian music. That is the basic thing for Indian classical music. And you can see all dance forms here. This is Bharatanatyam, this is Kathak, this is Kathakali, this is Kuchipudi, this is Manipuri. So this is Odissi. These are all different forms of different attires we can see. and different kind of expressions they give in the dances. And when it comes to music, there are more than 250 ragas in Indian classical, both South Indian and North Indian music. There are more than 250 ragas, it seems. And each raga has its own recognition, its own identity, and how it has to be sung. The time, either there are some ragas which are to be sung in the morning, afternoon, in the night, and you should not mix it up or messed up with them. So these are all the greatest thing. There are rules how when they have to be sung. And we have to appreciate Mr. Ravi Shankar, the greatest singer of this country, who brought our Indian, who took Indian music to the world level, and he built the bridge between the East and Western music area. Now, this is the greatness of our Indian music and Indian dances. And the next paragraph, other significant features of Indian cultural unity are the variety, color, and the emotional richness of its dances. The country abounds in the tribal dances, old dances, as well as classical dances of great virtuosity. Throughout India, dance is regarded not merely as an accompaniment to social intercourse, but also as a mode of aesthetic expression and spiritual realization. It is the greatest thing. No, dance is also is a mode of aesthetic expression and spiritual realization. Virtuosity is nothing but talent. So here he talks about the tribal dances, not only classical dances. There are many dances which are available, like tribal dances and old dances, like as well as classical dances. They have got lot of talent. Virtuosity is nothing but lot of talent. And you can find not only in one place, throughout India you can find these kind of dance forms. That's the reason our people, when there is some music, there is a dance in everybody. I can say every Indian is a dancer, every Indian is a singer, every Indian by birth they have some inbuilt this ragas and talas. That's the reason we are very talented, we are able to go into any field. That is the greatness of our Indian culture, Indianness. Not only that, no, but mode of aesthetic expression and spiritual realization. So aesthetic expression, aesthetic is nothing but artistic beauty expression and spiritual realization. Through dance you can reach the ultimate God. Through sculpture you can reach the ultimate God, ultimate power. So our people really try to perform the dance, or try to perform ragas, sing in a way that they are ultimately reaching to the ultimate power. Now, that is the crucial thing. That is the crucial and not only crucial thing. They strive, they work for it. Our people try to work for it in such a manner that the ultimate power easily is satisfied. Now, that is a reason that we have been continuing our own heritage, our own dances, our own ragas, our own talas, and you would find nowhere these kind of ragas, talas, or dance forms in any part of this globe. And the next paragraph, the great symbol of dance is Shiva, the cosmic dancer depicted in sculpture and poetry as Nataraja. Similarly, the classical theatre in India has a history of more than 2000 years. It was performed in places and in temples. The classical plays combined music and dance. Tragedy was and is still discouraged otherwise. The range of themes covered is wide. The range of themes covered is wide. There are n number of themes, numerous themes, many number of themes which are available in the dance form. And who is the first dancer in this cosmic? Cosmic is the entire galaxy, entire universe. Shiva, Lord Shiva is the first dancer, and we call him as a Nataraja. And you can see in the temples in olden days, in the history go, there are thousand in years ago. There are in the palaces where the kings are there, in the temples there used to be dance shows. But nowadays dance shows are available on TVs only. So this is the transitional development that have been looking forward, but we never lost the form of the dance. It is there in the blood of the people. So from temples to it has come to the TV shows, but the dance form is there. The place is changed. Now that is the greatness of our dance form of this country. And ultimately, the first dancer is Lord Shiva, and you can see the Nataraja poster here, and you can see how the Shiva is dancing here in the cosmology, the entire universe, and you can see the pictures. And not only that, we have a range of themes covered is wide, very wide. We have any theme you take, you can have a form of a dance on that particular theme. That is the greatest of our Indian dancing varieties. And the next paragraph is this strand of cultural unity running through the country that we are heir to, and to which people in the West are increasingly turning now. It is up to the younger generation to uphold this torch of cultural unity for the rest of the world to see, follow, and emulate, and not get dazed by the superficial prosperity and material achievement of the West, where man has set foot on the moon in his quest for space travel, but finds himself isolated in his own society and community. And this is again it is a message for all the youngsters like you, all the younger generations. Uphold means maintain, sustain. What is the duty? The author is trying to tell us what is your duty, what you need to do. That we have to understand here. So sometimes we are no fast, no, we always think about money, development, everything, and we talk about West, great countries. America is a great country, some other countries a great country. They are developed countries. But what the author is trying to tell, they have the knowledge, technology to set foot on the moon, but they find themselves isolated. When there is a real urgency, nobody comes forward to help them. But India, though we are developing, though we are trying to be the number one in the world, but we have a peace of mind, we have a society, we have a community, and we have love, we have brotherhood, passion, charity. So this is what we are inheritors, we are heir to this particular greatest spirituality and spiritual unity, cultural unity. And it is the responsibility of every individual, whoever is watching this video, and you are responsible for your life, your cultural unity, your cultural heritage. You have to uphold, you have to maintain, sustain this kind of cultural unity and this torch. Your forefathers gave us this torch, this light, enlightenment. This enlightenment we have to continue, and finally we have to give it to our next generation so that they will follow whatever our ancestors have told. And not only that, this cultural unity was seen by the Western people, and they are turning towards the Indian way of life. And slowly, all the European people realized what is exactly the peace of mind, what is exactly the brotherhood, what is exactly the ultimate reality of the spiritual reality, spiritual wisdom. So most of the time we are surprised or dazed by the superficial prosperity of the Western. What is superficial prosperity? Those people have a lot of money, big houses, good land, and we think that we have nothing. And but ultimately they have everything, but lack of peace of mind. We have nothing, we have peace of mind. That is the greatest difference between the Western life and the Indian life. So ultimately, Western people, Westernization, we say is very fast developing, but those people are trying to look at us and trying to learn from Indian life. That is what is our responsibility to uphold, to maintain, to take whatever is given to us. What is given to us? The cultural unity is given to us, and we have to lead that cultural unity and we give to our next generation. And it is your responsibility how you uphold, how you maintain that cultural or spiritual wisdom unity, whichever is given to you. And then and this is where we stop, and this is about the entire lesson. And on day one, we have learned that many groups are there, many languages, many castes, many subcastes are there in this country. But one nation, one country, oneness, that is Indianness, right? In the first day, we have learned this. But what have we learned now? So we have learned today there are 150 dialects. Only two languages are there. Hindi is our national language, and English and Hindi are lingua franca, link languages in this country. We have greatest cultural heritage. We have greatest spiritual greatness. We know what is realization of infinite, realization of ultimate power. We know what is meditation, what is contemplation, charity, love, universal brotherhood, fear of God. We are really fear of God, piety and unselfishness, control of passions, peace of mind. Not only that, the Indian people are proud of their own way of life, and you include all of this, and it becomes Indian way of life. And in two classes, in the first class, we have understood what is Indianness. In the second class, we have understood what is Indian way of life. And these two are very, very important for peace of mind. So all Indians are having a lot of peace of mind. That is the reason all the European Westerns are looking towards India for Indian way of life. They are turning towards Indian way of life. Ultimately, one day, this world will be realized that only Indian way of life is the solution for the peace among peace in and around the world. So Indian way of life is the solution for peace in the world. And this is what we have to understand. And ultimately, finally, the author says it is your responsibility to uphold this great heritage of this country and give it to the next generations. Thank you very much for listening to this class.